Took me to Comedy Act Theater, and a black dude went up on stage. He had on a pair of pajamas, and had a Barbie doll stuck in the pocket of the pajamas. He never mentioned the damn doll. He never mentioned them damn pajamas. And all this was talking about was frying fish. And man, them black people was knocking over laughing, man. Kevin was putting in the work as a young stand-up. His stand-up used to didn't be that good, he'll tell you that, but neither was mine. Because he was he worked mostly white rooms. And you had to be a certain way to survive white rooms. Early in my career was all white rooms until the Comedy Act Theater got started. And Joe Torre came one night and saw me at the Punchline in Buckhead and took me down to the Comedy Act Theater in the 90s and said, man, you ought to come see how they do. So we went to the Waffle House and I was telling him stories about my father. The woman said, no, Sister Harvey, I know you shame, I'm gonna just handle it. Brother Harvey, can you cut the game down? We trying to have Bible study. He said, I'm watching the game. You can go ahead and have the Bible study. I've been at work all day. I can't hear this unless it's loud. Joe Torre was cracking up. He said, man, why don't you tell these stories on stage? I said, I can't tell it like that in front of white folks. He said, man, let me take you down. He took me to Comedy Act Theater, and a black dude went up on stage. He had on a pair of pajamas, and had a Barbie doll stuck in the pocket of the pajamas. He never mentioned the damn doll. He never mentioned them damn pajamas. And all this was talking about was frying fish. And man, them black people was knocking over laughing, man. I was laughing so hard at this black dude because all he was talking about was how to fry fish. But every black person in there knew what he was talking about. And he went through the different variations of hot sauce and what you got, and it was so black. It was just so black.
Black as a fish fry.
Oh, dog, I was in there vomiting. So the next night, I heard him got finished with my set at the Punchline so I could go back down there, and that's when I met Mike Williams. He said, hey man, go on up on stage. Let me see what you got, give you 5 minutes. Now, I had been at the Apollo, so a lot of people knew me from the Apollo.
Because first of all, let me explain something to you. If I'm sitting somewhere and I'm eating, you know I'm paying attention because I'm black, I got to.
But when I walked up there, man, I left my white act that I had written for the Punchline, and I was doing jokes about my father barbecuing and stuff. Man, them black people was knocking over. I mean, they was just raking off the tables. And I had never seen black people in a club, because black people laugh different. They emotional. They don't, they hit people that they rode with. They be in there, it be a, and I was in there, so I said, man, this is magical. And it changed my life because I started writing my jokes, even in the white club, as my black self. And so what I learned at that particular time was, I could become a crossover act, but the way I've always crossed over is, I build the bridge and I invite white folks over to me. The problem with most blacks is they build a bridge and then they cross it. Then when the bridge burned down, their ass can't come back home. I build a bridge and I allow white folks come to me. The way I talk on Family Feud is how I talk right now. I'm not finna change that, man. So you can be okay with me. No, this is me.